Welcome back to the Deep Dive, Business Owners and C-Level Execs. I'm Lex, and today I'm with the awesome Vera for a deep dive into how marketing can drive some serious value for your company.
Hey, everybody.
We're not just talking about throwing some ads out there or posting on social media, right? This is about making marketing a core part of how your business grows.
And it's all based on a Forbes article about a CMO who's totally shaking things up at her company.
Sounds intriguing. What's the big idea behind this CMO strategy?
Well, she's found a way to make marketing work hand in hand with the whole business model.
So it's not just a department off to the side. It's like marketing is woven into the DNA of the company.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today so you can apply these ideas to your own businesses.
I love that.
Yeah.
But first, got to ask, what's the problem this CMO is trying to solve?
These days, marketing teams are expected to be everything digital, agile, customer-focused, and of course, bring in the money.
It's like they're juggling a million things at once, right?
Yeah, totally. And the article points out that a lot of companies actually end up sidelining marketing altogether because they don't see the payoff.
Like they're missing the forest for the trees.
Exactly. They're not seeing the big picture, and that's where the idea of focusing on firm value as the scorecard comes in.
Firm value. Interesting. Tell me more.
So the article talks about Lynn Teo, the CMO of Northwestern Mutual. She uses these 10 design principles to completely transform her marketing team.
Okay, hold on. Northwestern Mutual, that's a big name in finance. How'd she pull off such a big change?
She completely rebuilt how marketing worked there, from the ground up, changed the structure, who was on the team, and what they could do. It was about opening up all these new possibilities and channels.
So it wasn't just tweaking a few things, it was a total marketing makeover.
Exactly. And get this, she realized that to really create value, marketing had to be linked to the whole business model.
Okay, break that down for me a bit.
It's about understanding where the value is in your company, where the money comes from,
All right.
and then figuring out how marketing can help both your advisors and your clients get more out of it.
So marketing becomes a way to empower everyone involved, not just sell products.
Right. And here's the cool part. Teo didn't just toss out what they were already doing with marketing. She looked at what was working and built on that,
So she was like, let's find the gold nuggets we already have and make them shine even brighter.
Totally. Every change she made was about making sure marketing was focused on driving that firm value.
I'm hooked. What were some of the big takeaways from this marketing revolution?
Teamwork was huge. Northwestern Mutual's marketing team is all about working together across different departments now.
So they're breaking down the walls between departments and getting everyone on the same page.
Absolutely. When teams are in sync, they can support each other and understand what everyone needs to get things done. It's about connecting all the dots to get your product or service out there successfully.
It makes so much sense. When teams work in silos, they miss out on so much.
And another key thing, making brand marketing and product marketing work together. They're now both aligned with client marketing to create deeper relationships and a sense of ownership for clients.
So it's not just about pushing products, it's about making customers feel like they're part of something bigger.
Absolutely. It's about building that trust and connection.
Speaking of reaching customers, how did Northwestern Mutual change their strategy for that?
They got really smart about how they use media. They're coordinating everything, paid ads, their own content, media coverage, and what their customers are sharing to create a complete marketing experience.
So they're thinking about the whole customer journey, from the first time someone hears about them to becoming a loyal customer.
Right. They want to make sure the experience is consistent no matter where the customer encounters the brand.
It's like a symphony, everything working in harmony.
Totally. And to make sure their message was on point, Northwestern Mutual did something pretty cool.
What's that?
They put the teams that handle data insights and the teams that do the creative stuff under the same leader.
I see where they're going with this. Make sure the creative stuff is actually based on what customers want.
Yep. Having one leader for both means all their marketing is based on real customer behavior and what makes people tick.
Makes sense. You got to know your audience if you want to grab their attention.
For sure. You can't just throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
Okay, so we've got teamwork, brand, and product synergy, and a super smart media strategy. Anything else stand out from this marketing makeover?
Well, their approach to their advisor network was really interesting. They see advisors as an extension of the brand itself, helping them reach more people and be more relevant.
So advisors are like brand ambassadors, spreading the good word.
Precisely. It's such a smart move, especially for a company like Northwestern Mutual that has a big network of
It's
advisors.
all about empowering your team to be your biggest cheerleaders.
Exactly. Oh, and one more thing that really surprised me was Teo's take on imperfect data.
Wait, imperfect data. How can you make good decisions in marketing if your data isn't perfect?
It's a challenge everyone faces, especially when you have so much data coming from different places. But Teo's point is that you shouldn't get stuck waiting for perfect data.
So don't let perfection be the enemy of progress.
Right. You got to make decisions based on the best data you have, even if it's not perfect. You use your insights, your past data, and your hunches about what customers want to guide you.
So it's about being flexible and willing to adjust your course as you learn more.
Exactly. Things change fast, and the data you have today might be outdated tomorrow. It's about staying nimble and adapting as you go.
This is gold. But I know our listeners are probably thinking, okay, great ideas, but how do I actually put this into practice?
Great point. Let's shift gears and talk about how these big ideas can become concrete steps you can take in your own marketing strategies.
Love it. But first, let's give our listeners a moment to process all this awesome info.
Sounds good. We'll be right back with more insights from this deep dive into marketing transformation. Okay, so let's make this practical. Teo's whole approach is about linking marketing to creating value, right? So first, you got to figure out where that value comes from in your business.
Makes sense. Where do you suggest our listeners start with that?
You got to ask the tough questions. What actually brings in the money and makes your business profitable? What are you doing that's different from everyone else and gives your customers the most bang for their buck?
For some of our listeners, it might be their sales process. Others, it might be awesome customer service or coming up with cool new products. It's different for everyone, right?
Exactly. No two businesses are the same. But once you've got a handle on those core activities that drive value, the next piece is figuring out how marketing can support and boost them.
So it's about changing how people see marketing.
Yeah.
It's not just a cost. It's a partner that helps the business deliver on its promises.
Exactly. Think about how marketing can bring in leads, build those customer relationships, create loyal fans, and ultimately drive those sales. You're basically weaving marketing into the heart of how your business works.
It's not just about flashy campaigns. It's got to be tied to the core of what you do.
Exactly. And remember, Teo's emphasis on teamwork, breaking down those silos and getting all your marketing folks talking to each other.
I'm curious, how can leaders actually make that happen? It's easy to say work together, but doing it is a whole other thing, right?
You're right, it takes effort. One thing that works is having regular meetings where different marketing teams can share what they know, talk about challenges, and bounce ideas off each other. Or you can use project management tools that let everyone see what's going on so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, when teams are working in their own little bubbles, they miss out on each other's strengths and end up giving customers a disjointed experience.
Totally. Those tools and systems can really bridge the gaps and make communication smoother.
It's so much smoother. Now, what about brand and product synergy? How can our listeners make sure their brand and products are working together?
It's about making sure your brand message is the same everywhere and that your product marketing is focused on building deep relationships with customers.
So it's not just about shouting about features, it's about telling a story that connects with your audience.
Exactly. It's about creating an authentic experience where what you say about your brand matches what customers actually experience with your product. That's what builds trust and keeps people coming back for more.
It's about showing customers that you get them and you're in it for the long haul, not just a quick sale.
Now, let's talk integrated media strategy. Teo was big on coordinating all kinds of media paid ads, your own content, earned media, shared media to support that full funnel marketing strategy.
Can we break that down a bit? Some of our listeners might not be familiar with all those marketing terms.
Yeah. Of course. Full funnel marketing is about thinking about the customer's whole journey with your brand from the moment they first hear about you to becoming a loyal fan. And all those different types of media are just different ways to reach them at each stage.
So paid media could be stuff like online ads or sponsored posts, while owned media is stuff you control, like your website or social media.
You got it. And then earned media is when other people are talking about you, like press coverage or online reviews. And shared media is all about getting your audience to spread your message, like through social media shares or word of mouth.
It's like a perfectly orchestrated marketing campaign with each element playing its part.
Perfect analogy. And to make sure your message is on point, remember Teo's emphasis on data-driven creative. Use data and insights to inform your creative process so your message really speaks to your target audience.
I see how this is especially important for folks targeting niche markets or very specific customers. You really got to know what makes them tick.
Right. Data can tell you so much about your audience, their age, what they do online, their problems, their hopes and dreams. By tapping into that, you can create campaigns that truly resonate with them.
Now, we talked about leveraging your network earlier. How can our listeners apply Teo's idea of empowering the advisor network to their own businesses?
It's about thinking bigger than just your internal team. Think about how you can empower your employees, your partners, even your customers to become advocates for your brand.
Word of mouth is so powerful, especially now when people are bombarded with ads everywhere. It's about making those genuine connections and having people who genuinely believe in your brand spread the word.
Absolutely. People are way more likely to trust recommendations from people they know. So when you empower your network to share their positive experiences, you're tapping into a powerful form of organic marketing.
It's like creating a community of brand enthusiasts.
And finally, let's come back to Teo's advice about embracing imperfect data. Don't let the pursuit of perfect data stop you from taking action.
This is tough for data-driven folks who are used to relying on numbers. How do you find that balance between using data and making decisions when you don't have all the information?
It's about understanding that data is a tool, not the boss. You use data to guide you, but you also have to be willing to trust your gut, your experience, and your knowledge of your market.
So it's about being flexible and not being afraid to make a mistake. It's a process of learning and adjusting as you go.
Exactly. Things change all the time, so the data you have today might be old news tomorrow. You got to stay nimble and be willing to adapt as you learn more.
This is all great advice, but I'm betting our listeners are hungry for some real-world examples. Can we get into some specific tactics that businesses can use to put these principles into action?
Totally. Let's dive into some real-world applications.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. Real-world stuff our listeners can use. Got any examples we can dive into?
Yeah, let's say you're a business owner who wants to get your name out there and bring in more leads. Taking a cue from Teo's integrated media approach, you could try a multi-channel campaign that uses different types of media to reach your audience at different points in their journey.
I like that, multi-channel. Sounds fancy. How would that work?
Well, you start by creating some awesome content. Something that showcases what your brand is all about and what you know. It could be a blog post that makes people think, a video that teaches them something, or even a cool infographic.
And so we're starting with content that's actually valuable, something that shows off your expertise.
Exactly. Then you share that content on all your own channels, like your website and social media pages.
I got to leverage that existing audience, get them sharing and spreading the word.
Right. But to reach new folks who might not already know about you, paid advertising is your friend. Think Google ads, social media ads, that kind of thing.
But you got to target those ads carefully.
Yeah.
Right. Make sure you're reaching the right people.
Absolutely. No point in shouting to an empty room. Now, to add some credibility and reach an even wider audience, think about reaching out to media outlets and influencers in your industry. Offer them guest articles, do interviews.
That's that earned media,
Yeah.
right? Getting other people to talk about you, that's huge for building trust.
You got it. And don't forget about your current customers. They can be your biggest cheerleaders. Encourage them to share your content, offer them rewards for referrals, maybe run some contests.
Turn those happy customers into brand ambassadors.
That's the idea. It's all about tapping into that authentic word-of-mouth marketing. When you combine all these different channels, you create a whole marketing ecosystem that works together to boost awareness, get people engaged, and turn them into customers.
I love the ecosystem analogy. It's like everything's working together in perfect harmony.
Exactly. This is how you take those big ideas we talked about and make them actionable.
I'm sure our listeners are buzzing with ideas now.
Yeah.
I hope so. But remember, what works for one business might not work for another. The important thing is to try things out, see what sticks, and be willing to change things up as you learn.
It's all about being adaptable. The marketing world is always changing.
That's the fun part. So the big takeaway for everyone listening today is to shift your thinking. See your marketing team as more than just the creative folks. They can be real partners in driving growth across your whole business.
And they can only do that if they're set up for success, right? Give them the structure and the power to make things happen.
Exactly. Remember what Lynn Teo said. It all starts with value. Figure out where the value is in your business, and then make marketing the engine that drives it. That's your homework.
That's a great challenge to leave our listeners with. Think about how you can make your marketing efforts work hand in hand with your business goals.
And for those of you tuning in who are all about digital marketing, especially in the Western market, keep in mind that these ideas can be applied to your specific audience and goals. Whether you're focused on local SEO, PPC, or social media, it's all about creating value, working together, using data wisely, and telling a compelling brand story.
You've got to know your local market, build those relationships, and create campaigns that really resonate with your target audience.
Spot on. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key things you want our listeners to walk away with?
Marketing is an investment, not an expense. It can bring serious value to your business. You need a marketing team that's all about collaboration, uses data to make decisions, and is aligned with your overall business goals. Don't be afraid to try new things and adapt as you learn.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, if this deep dive got your wheels turning and you're ready to see how these principles can work for you, we invite you to reach out to us at Shield Media. We're all about digital marketing, especially helping businesses in the Western market thrive online. We can help you create a strategy that uses local SEO, PPC, and social media to reach the right people and achieve your goals.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay in the loop on all things marketing, make sure to hit that follow button and share this episode with your network. We love helping businesses succeed, and we believe knowledge is key.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring.